Hello and welcome to the Flory Models Friday catch-up show. Here we are with you on the 9th of February 2024. Really good week this week, apart from the bit in the middle where my face drilled out. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. But as you can see, massively pushed on with these two. Wanted to get nicely ahead, and boy did we ever do that. So we managed to get all the painting work done onto the actual B25, which is really nice. Coming along really nicely now. We're going to get it onto its gear, I'm thinking. Get the decals onto this over the weekend. Get them sealed in, and then we can do a little bit of weathering next week. And the other big one is obviously we've pushed on very much, and we've just painted this morning up the actual Tiger Moth as well. So this is the ICM 32nd scale Tiger Moth, beautiful kit. So actually now to get it in that nice silver, I like the LP11, it's got that nice sort of dope linen effect, but definitely will do by the time we get all the decals onto it and things like that. So definitely been having a lot of fun with all of those. Anyway, all started on Monday with part 3. The actual Tiger Moth build going up there on this particular one, and basically as you can see we were working our way through getting the wings all installed onto it, and then obviously getting them all squared up. And I must admit I was really worried about the actual structural integrity, shall we say, because obviously the plastic is quite soft with ICM kits, and I really thought you can probably see there's a little bit of a bow on some of these some of these struts, and I was a little bit concerned that it wasn't going to hold itself together. But never fear, we went through the motions of actually doing all the rigging work, which is a really nice way with this one. See, we've got the central rigging in there, so it's a little bit like stitching. So instead of doing just one end to one end, this is actually looped through one in, one out, one in, one out the top. And then when we went through to do the rest of the rigging, it's just one piece of thread all the way through. So originally we secured one end onto a bit of wing, and then we just went through and threaded it, literally starting down here at the bottom, up to the top, move along, down through the next hole, down through there, comes back up, goes across, so forth and so on, until we ended up with all the rigging taking place just like this, till we ended up with it all done. And to be honest, worked out really well. Probably the simplest way I've ever done rigging in my life. Definitely something that I would do again given the chance. So definitely a really much an easier form. Took away all the problems of it. Anyway, then we went through and did all the control surfaces. So we got the actual tail planes fitted on there, the rudder controls, things like that, to finish off all of this. And yes, I know the horn is way too high. We'll talk about that in a moment. All right, so we get that all into place, and then it's technically all ready for painting. But again, really nice to get them done. So by the time we got the tops of the wings on and the bottoms, the rigidity of the actual model came right back. So nothing to worry about that once it was together. So anyway, that was all with you on Monday. So members, you can go off and you can see that right now. Tuesday was the show with me and Matt. This is our recorded show of what's been going on and various things we've been talking about. One of them we were talking about, as I say, was this horn on the back. I'm not 100% obviously about it. I don't know this aircraft well, so I did put a shout out. Do you think we should move it? Short answer is yes. It is wrong. It is a fault with the kit. It needs to be moved down to the lower section down in here, which I'll show you in a minute, which I have done now. So anyway, we got all of that one in, and obviously we were talking about working on the B25, how we were getting on with that, talking about the paints that we used and all the different bits as we made our way through. Matt was obviously talking about his car, because he's working on the car to go along with the Tiger Moth with me. You can see it's down into primer now, and all the bits and pieces in there just like that, which is very nice. Oh, sorry. And then we've got just along here, we can see it in the actual grey primer, sorry, and it's got a black coat. And he's been working on the figures, which are all looking very nice indeed. And then obviously some of the diorama work he's been working on at the moment. So this is a free to watch show. Anybody can watch this one. So if you want to, just pop along into the actual site or on YouTube, and you can catch up with this show. And it is. Then we were obviously talking about answering your questions, various things, weird and wacky kits that we'd spotted this week, and all the other stuff, and some of the new releases coming down the line, what we think about them, and all the usual sort of gossip with this one as well. So yeah, some nice stuff down in that show. Again, it's a laid back show, totally interactive, so love to get your feedback on this one. So if you've got any comments on that, please post down below and we can answer them on the following show with you. Yeah, so if you can hear that, it's actually torrential rain here at the moment. Anyway, there was no show on Wednesday because, to be honest, I was seeing a endo somebody or other that drills basically root canals in your face, and I had to have 4 of those done. So I had a nice day at the dentist, sat in a chair for 2.5 hours upside down. Don't recommend it. But anyway, that was Wednesday. Did do a little bit of work off the side of it, but really I did no filming and things. So anyway, we can go through. Anyway, on to Thursday's show is the members show. And obviously I was talking about doing the paintwork, which I did on Thursday, pushed on nicely with this one. So wasn't happy with the olive drab colour we used, so we wanted to fade it down a bit. So usual thing, we added some yellow into it, and we went through all the motions, as you can see down in here, to really bring it to life all the way through, which you can see in a moment as well. So a lot of fading work, various bits and pieces, very straightforward, just adding yellow into the olive drab, lightens it slightly, and then just did a little bit of post shading and run round it all on there like that. So members, you could go up and see that show, just a little catch-up show, the little vlogs that I do, the 10-minute ones, so they are available down in the forum as always. And then that gets us up to today. We've got part 6 of the actual B25. So again, we talk about using the Attacker paint sets. Highly recommend them, especially if you're new into using Attacker. You don't want to sort of go on and get loads of them. Just see how you get on. They're great. It just works, this stuff. It's one of those things. I know I often say that all lacquers are the same, they just work. But this is a classic example where they work really well. Nice colours, really, really strong as well. You can thin them literally to an inch of themselves, as I call it. So I start my thinning at least 60%, more like 70%. You know, thinners in with these, just to make sure they flow really nicely and they cover well, and they've got a nice satin finish once they're down. So again, and then post shading, I'm up to like 90% to actually with thinners into these things, because they cover that well. Anyway, going through the motions of it, so usual thing, we put the green on first, so the green shows through onto the actual clear part framing itself on the inside. Then we come along and put black over the top of that. That basically seals them in then and gives you a nice strong look. So you don't get that sort of, you know, you can slightly see through it, the translucent look to cut a canopy framing. It just makes it more solid and more believable by popping that down. Then we went in with primer over this one, so we used rapid thinners with the actual primer microfiller by AK in the grey one down in there. What I tend to do is this stuff you can use it neat out of the bottle, but to be honest with you, I do prefer to thin it just a little bit. I think it flows a little bit better, and with the rapid thinners means it dries almost instantly as well, so it's really, really quick and workable on there just like that. So there's all the primer going down onto it, and that takes care of that particular build all the way through. Next part will be up with you on Monday. If I move some of these out of the way, and it will look then hopefully something like this. So on Monday's part, we go through of doing all the green work and basically going through all the sort of things about this. So as we did on the underside, as you would have seen down in there, we go through, and it's obviously start off with the original colour, we pop that down, then we lighten it, then we lighten it again, and then we come back and we darken it, and that's how we get the post shading underneath. And then next week you'll be up into this one as well, which obviously goes through the motions. This one will be up with you on Monday. We're obviously doing all the green work down in here. So again, you've got a situation of going through all the motions with it down in here. So you've got the various things like, same thing, olive drab, wasn't happy with the colour. We added a little bit of yellow to this one right the way through with it. And then what the yellow does is just sort of fades back the olive drab to be more of a sort of warm down look. And this one's from Burma, so it's going to have a heavy life down in that part of the world. All right, so from that, then we obviously lightened it again with a little bit more yellow for doing the centre seams. Then we put a little bit of buff, or in my case, a little bit of sail colour, because I ran out of buff, down into this as well, just to fade it all back and give it this nice hue all the way over. But she's done, she's all looking very good, happy about how she's turned out now. So very nice with that one. Anyway, you can catch up with this one next week, and you'll catch up with me on this particular build. So a lot of fun with that one. The other one, of course, is this little lady, which is coming along really nice. You notice down here on the tail now, we've moved the horn for the actual rudder, and we've moved it down. So it was at the top here, so we've moved it down now. So that looks very nice just down in there like that. And we got this silver colour, which again, the camera absolutely hates. It's either too shiny or it's really grey on the camera, but actually it is very, very silvery. When you see it in, you know, the naked with your own eyes, it's got that really nice dope linen type of colour to it, that silvery effect. So we've done with that one right the way through here. So this is now all done. So technically we can get some decals onto this one and really start to bring it together. A little bit of light weathering with this one, nothing too much. A few little areas still to go on, like we've got these on the top here. We do slightly different colour. We've got to put the little cooler down in here on as well, and obviously down on the top here as well, the top tank as well. We'll change the colour of those with a little bit of post shading, but generally, as you can see, she is all done, and that rigging really looks very, very nice now when you catch it like that. So again, this one is going to be part of the actual bigger build. So this one is going to go onto a diorama with Matt's cars, Matt's figures, and all the rest of it with this particular build, so you can see. And if you are wondering, it's Prim knitting in elastic, which does all the control lines and all the rigging. Great stuff, because you can do this with it and it doesn't break, and it's fantastic. It's very forgiving. And again, you can just spray it, you can paint it with lacquers as well, and it's never been a problem with this particular one. So there we go, that's that one looking very nice indeed. So with both of these pushing along really nicely, it should give us a little bit more room. Now next week we've got something huge happening. I've got Corinne coming over from Braveco. She's coming over here, and we're going to be launching something really big as a joint project between both of us. So it's going to be a week-long show of all these different things going on. Obviously the full details of it, members, you're going to get it on Thursday night. Rest of the world, you're going to get it on the Friday, but we're going to be working together. So the lovely Corinne will be along with me all week for the shows we do on Tuesday, the Wednesday, the Thursday show, and obviously with the actual Friday show as well. So if you've got any questions you want to shoot to her as well, you can do. All right, so you can post those up as well. So anything at all, because obviously don't forget she's the European importer for Display as well. So if you've got any questions about that, you can do. Anyway, on that side, don't forget, if you are into a little bit of merch, this is lovely Corinne here modelling. We got everything in. It's all here at the moment. So we've got your t-shirts, we've got your polo shirts, we've got the aprons, we've got the normal one, we've got the normal merch packs as well. We have got more than two down in there. And also don't forget, we've got the mugs. So we've got 30 still available. So if you are after a mug, we've got 30 of the normal mugs. These are just the general sale ones, which are on sale all the time. And again, we've now got back in stock. The glue holders are back in there. We've got this one as well for the micro set and sole holders, and the nozzles are back in stock as well. So the 3D printer's been running a lot this week. All right, so they are all available back in the store as well. As always, we've got your pigments, we've got your washes, we've got the thick washes, and we've got all the sets as well. All right, so lots of stuff to see down in here. So if you want to catch up with any of these ones, you can do just down in here. All right, so lots of stuff to see. Over on the PM side of it, obviously various things going on at the moment. One of the biggest ones is the new SMS paint range. Continues to grow. We've had a big delivery of that this week, so we've got more colours down in here. So obviously the big rack is beginning to fill up now. As they're coming back in stock with our stockist, we're putting them into stock as well. So if you ever wanted to try SMS paints, they are pre-thinned, ready to go, shoot straight out of the bottle. Got great coverage, great colours as well. And again, as more and more colours come in stock, we'll get them straight away and we'll get them up in the site. So if you want to grab any of those ones, you can do. We have had a limited restock as well of obviously the AK colours as well. You might know that Real Colours are changing their packaging. So at the moment, we're a little bit short where everyone runs down their colours. Not just us, but we can't get them out of AK anyway. And we're led to believe that it's going to be in March the new ones are going to be coming out as well. So if you do want any Real Colours, we have got a few of them come back in stock this week of the Real Colours and things like that. So if you want to grab any of those ones, you can do. As far as I am aware, the brand and the product are exactly the same. It's just different packaging, all right, for the Real Colours. So don't panic. It's just the same stuff, just different bottles, all right, for that particular one. So if you want to grab any of those ones, though, we have had a limited restock of what we could actually get out of those as well. So if you want to grab any of those ones, you can do as well. On the special side of things, we've got a few extra bits down in here as well. We've got some of the actual dark yellow primer that's on special as well, saving yourself a nice chunk of cash. And we've got some other nice Hobby Boss ones down in here as well. So again, we've got the fantastic Intruder, we've got the Black Widow down there, we've got that ME262, and again we've got that Brewer as well. Very nice one. Some very nice kits down in here if you want to get all of these. So these are heavily discounted over our normal standard 12% off of all kits. All right, so if you want to grab any of these ones, and especially we've got the Sky Raiders down in here as well. So obviously this is the Hobby 2000 kits, which are reboxes of Hasegawa ones, I do believe, down in there for some of these, and all the other ones down in here. So we've got which is the Revell Spitfire as well, with the Mark 1, which comes with the mask set and with the resin as well. We've got some of those on offer, and again we've got some other nice bits down in here. So if you fancy any of these, then just grab over to the shop and you can actually have a look. And again, we've got the Apaches in, things like that. So if you do fancy one of these, get them quick before they're gone, because as we say, once it's gone, that's it, they are gone. New arrivals, to be honest, a very, very slow week this week, so nothing really going on, but we have got the Ju-88 tank buster in now as well. So if you fancy a Ju-88 with a massive cannon on the bottom, we've got that one in stock as well, plus the fact all your other ones. Don't forget, we've got all your usual things, like you've got your thinners, because we've had a restock of thinners come back in, and all the other different ones as well. So you say we've had some good restocks in this week of all the consumables, tools, paints, thinners, glues, things like that as well. All right, so if you want to grab any of those ones, just pop over to the pmmodelsuk.com store and you can grab anything from down in there. And that is about it for this week. So really busy week next week. So I've got Corinne coming over on Monday. She's staying here for the week. We're doing loads of filming, lots of various bits and pieces that we'll be getting up to as well. Some really exciting stuff. We've got lots of live shows for you coming through down through the line as well. So we've got those next week as well. So stay tuned and keep an eye out for all of this as it starts to happen. And a massive announcement which we'll be making. Members, you'll get it on Thursday, and then obviously non-members, you'll all get it on Friday on the show that we do today for the catch-up show. And that's about it from me. As always, on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. So until Monday, happy modelling. Take care.
I was not ready to falling like I'm wasted. My heart grows heavy. Don't taste me rushing and keep your words naked. You got me blushing, and you forever I'll follow. You'll be my holy ground. You forever I'll follow in immortality. I can see you and me free in immortality. I can see you and me free. You left me crying and running through a ghost town, alone and stranded. Why leave me hoping and guessing for the answers? No.